All right, K-pop fans, buckle up because we are diving into some seriously juicy drama today.
Ooh, drama. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's all about JHope's solo tour, and specifically the ticket prices for his Seoul concerts.
Oh, JHope's solo tour. Yeah, that's huge news. Everyone's been buzzing about it.
Exactly. And the internet basically exploded when the prices dropped. Some fans are ecstatic, others are fuming. It's wild.
Seriously, what's the big deal? Are we talking like ridiculously expensive or something?
Well, that's the thing. It depends on who you ask. We're talking about 3 nights at the KSPO Dome, end of February, beginning of March.
Okay, KSPO Dome, that's massive. So what's the damage?
For a standard ticket, you're looking at about 165,000 KRW, which is roughly $113 USD.
$113. That doesn't sound too crazy, especially for a BTS member.
Right, but then the VIP tickets with the meet and greet and all that jazz, those are going for 220,000 KRW, about 151 USD.
Okay, I can see how that might raise some eyebrows, but still not exactly breaking the bank.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But the article we're deep diving into today, it's from Koreaboo, by the way, titled BTS JHope's Concert. Ticket prices spark vastly mixed reactions. It paints a very different picture.
Oh, really? So what's the deal? Who's upset and why?
Well, it seems like there's this huge divide between how Korean fans and international fans are reacting.
Interesting. Break it down for me.
So some Korean fans are absolutely furious. They're calling these prices outrageous, accusing HYBE, BTS's agency, of course, of being greedy, and basically saying that K-pop concerts are becoming unaffordable.
I can understand that perspective. Ticket prices have definitely been climbing in general. It's a valid concern.
And get this, some fans are even comparing these prices to Kanye West's concert in Korea a while back.
Kanye West. Okay, now I'm really curious.
Apparently, you could get a standard seat at Kanye's concert for under 100,000 concert. It's a pretty big difference.
Oh, yeah, that's a significant gap.
Yeah.
Why do you think there's such a difference in reactions?
I think it boils down to a couple of things. First, you got to consider the economic context. Purchasing power and average income are very different in Korea compared to, say, the US or Europe.
Right. What might seem like a steal to an international fan could be a huge expense for someone in Korea.
Exactly. And then there's the whole cultural aspect, too. K-pop fans in different parts of the world might have different expectations around concert experiences and artist accessibility.
That makes sense. You know, some international fans are used to paying hundreds, even thousands of dollars for concert tickets.
So maybe, in comparison, JHope's prices seem reasonable to them. But for Korean fans who might have different reference points, it feels like a much bigger deal.
It's all about perspective, isn't it? Like what one person considers a splurge, another might see as a bargain.
And then there's the whole issue of HYBE's strategy. I mean, are they intentionally catering to a more international fan base with these prices?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? K-pop's global popularity has exploded in recent years, and agencies like HYBE are obviously trying to capitalize on that.
But at what cost?
Right. They have to find a way to balance their global ambitions with the needs of their core Korean fan base. It's a delicate tightrope walk.
And the article highlights that a lot of Korean fans are genuinely worried that this is going to set a precedent for future concerts.
I can see why they'd be concerned. If these prices become the norm, it could make it even harder for Korean fans to see their favorite artists.
It's not just about the money either. It's about the emotional connection. These fans feel like they're being priced out of an experience that means a lot to them.
The article actually quotes some pretty heartbroken fans saying things like, "This is outrageous. HYBE only cares about money. And guess I won't be seeing Hobie after all."
And here's where it gets really interesting. The article mentions that the ticket listing was actually taken down from the site at some point. What do you think happened there?
That's a good question. You know, maybe HYBE is starting to realize that they might have misjudged the situation a bit.
Do you think all this fan backlash could actually lead to them changing the prices?
It's possible. Fans have a lot of power these days, especially with social media. It wouldn't surprise me if HYBE is at least reconsidering their strategy right now.
I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens, but this whole situation definitely raises some big questions about the future of K-pop, doesn't it? Like, how will agencies balance global expansion with the needs of their core fan bases?
Exactly. And how will fans continue to shape the K-pop landscape? These are all things we'll be exploring further in the next part of our deep dive. Stay tuned, folks. Things are about to get even juicier.
Oh, I can't wait.
This whole JHope ticket thing, it's got me thinking, like about other industries, how they've handled going global.
Oh, yeah. Give me an example.
The film industry. When Hollywood first started trying to appeal to everyone worldwide, remember, They kind of messed up sometimes.
Totally. They'd try to make these movies for everyone, and they'd end up not really working for anyone.
Exactly. And I kind of wonder, are K-pop agencies headed down that same road? Like, if they focus too much on what international fans want, could they lose what makes K-pop special?
That's a good point. But K-pop is huge internationally now. Can they really ignore that?
Oh, absolutely not. It's this tricky balance, right? They can't just pick one audience over the other.
So what's the solution?
Yeah.
How do they make everyone happy?
Maybe it's not about making everyone happy per se, but more about finding ways to bridge the gap.
Like what? What could they actually do?
Well, they can try different pricing models, for one.
Like tiered ticketing or something like that?
Exactly. Different price points for different seats, different experiences. That way they could cater to fans with different budgets,
Makes sense. But wouldn't that be like a logistical nightmare to manage?
Oh, there'd be challenges for sure. But the technology exists to handle it. And think of the benefits. More fans get to see the shows. Agencies potentially make more money.
Win-win, in theory.
Right. And it doesn't have to stop at pricing either. They could look into things like live streaming concerts for fans who can't travel.
Or even like holding more concerts in different places, so international fans don't all have to fly to Korea.
Now you're getting it. Thinking outside the box. Finding creative solutions that work for everyone.
This JHope thing could actually be a good thing then, like a wake-up call.
I think so. It's forcing everyone to have these conversations, which is a good first step.
Okay, but let's talk about HYBE specifically.
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to do? Are they actually going to change anything?
Well, remember, we talked about how powerful fans are. I think HYBE has to take that seriously, especially with the ticket listing disappearing for a bit.
And the article mentioned HYBE's stock prices dipped a little after all this went down.
Exactly. They can't just ignore this.
But HYBE's a business, right? At the end of the day, they want to make money. Will they really put fans first?
It's tough, for sure. But I think they're starting to see that happy fans equal loyal fans, which equals more money in the long run.
So maybe it's not as black and white as fans versus profits.
Right. It's about finding that sweet spot where everyone benefits.
So if HYBE does make changes, what do you think they'll do?
Well, like we said, tiered ticketing could be a good start.
What about, like, discounts for longtime fans? A loyalty program or something?
I like that. Reward fans for their dedication.
And they could actually talk to fans, get their input directly.
Exactly. Collaboration, communication. That's key.
Okay, but here's a thought. What if this is bigger than just JHope?
Oh, tell me more.
What if this whole thing is a sign that K-pop's changing, like fundamentally?
I think you're onto something.
Like K-pop's growing up, going through growing pains, trying to figure out how to be this global thing.
And agencies like HYBE are right in the middle of it all, trying to figure out how to make it work.
It's kind of exciting, isn't it? Like we're watching history happen.
Absolutely. This JHope thing, it's just one piece of the puzzle.
And the bigger picture, well, that's still being revealed.
It's a fascinating time to be a K-pop fan, that's for sure.
All right, everyone, get ready for part 3. We're going to wrap up by talking about what this all means for the future of K-pop. Stay tuned. Okay, so we've talked about JHope, we've talked about HYBE, but what does this all mean for K-pop, like the big picture?
Yeah, it's kind of a turning point, isn't it? K-pop's blown up globally, and it's like, where do we go from here?
Right. How does K-pop stay K-pop while also becoming this worldwide thing? It's a tough question.
And honestly, I think the answer lies with the fans.
Okay, so fans listening, this is for you. You guys are the heart of K-pop. You're the ones who make this whole thing happen.
You really do. So what can you do to make sure K-pop goes in a direction you're happy with?
First off, don't be afraid to speak EUP. Use your voice. Got an opinion on ticket prices? Share it. Worried about something? Talk about it.
Social media, fan forums, even contacting the agencies directly, it all matters.
And remember, you're not alone. Find other fans, join those groups, build a community.
Strengthen numbers, right. Collective action can make a difference.
And hey, your wallet talks too. Support artists and agencies who are doing things right.
Like we said before, agencies are businesses. They pay attention to where the money goes.
But don't just complain. Come up with solutions. Brainstorm. Be creative. Share your vision for a better K-pop.
What would make it more inclusive, more accessible? Let's hear it.
Fan-funded events, resources for international fans, who knows? You might inspire some real change.
The possibilities are endless, seriously. This is your chance to help shape K-pop's future.
This whole JHope thing has been wild, right? It just shows you how dynamic K-pop is, how much it's changing.
And the fans are right there in the middle of it all. It's exciting.
So to all our listeners out there, stay passionate, stay informed, and keep those conversations going.
Because K-pop's future, it's in your hands.
That wraps up our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with another look behind the curtain of the entertainment world. Until then, keep the K-pop love alive.